Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas here with Patty Carmola, who is an immediate past president of the Massillon Women's Club. Five Oaks, our very own Downton Abbey, truly. And you've got something coming up in a few years in 2020. You have, everybody talks about 2020 vision. And the year 2020 means quite a bit for people who are visionary. And I believe you're going to be celebrating a 125th anniversary in the year 2020. Tell us a little bit about what you've got up your sleeves.
Well, you know what? It is in the making yet, I will tell you that, but there will be a definite celebration. I mean, to have this house restored and kept so well, we want to make the whole community involved some way. And, we have a lot of ties, you mentioned, with the Saxton House in Canton. I just do want to mention, back in the fall, we had our current president this year is Linda Tarl, and she is involved with the Saxton House, with the First Ladies Library over there. Mm-hmm. And so she wanted a collaboration with the two groups.
Nice.
And so we had what was called The Brilliant Affair. And it was a friendship between William McKinley and Mr. McClymonds. But it was the true friendship between Ida McKinley, mm-hmm. and Flora McClymonds.
Yes.
And so myself and another girl we had a PowerPoint, and we had a little conversation about reminiscent of our conversations throughout our lives when we went to Miss Porter's school, and we went to school together, and our husbands knew each other. And so it was really a wonderful event. It was $100 event, mm-hmm. And it was sort of like a reenactment almost of the wedding when McKinley was there.
Wow.
And we had these people that portrayed these characters. And so we're hoping to do something a little bit more than that, mm-hmm. where we're going to, the whole year will be about our celebration in Massillon.
I think you do walk through the doors and you step back in time to a very simple but elegant time. Mm-hmm. It is amazing. And a particular favorite time of year for me is Christmas, when you visit the Massillon Women's Club. Describe that, because it's amazing.
It is amazing. We have a group of ladies that are on our decorating committee that are all volunteer, and they have over the years acquired an awful lot of decorations, but they do it with such class, and they decorate every room. And, some are in charge of the Aunt Annie's room. Someone might be in charge of the ballroom. But it is just exquisite. And that always kicks off with the first tea of Christmas, which is like right before Thanksgiving in November. And then we start our holiday at Five Oaks. And that holiday at Five Oaks is a 3-day, it's a dinner. And then you have entertainment Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we have a cookie walk. And then there are certain days in December that it's open to the public and everybody can just come in, and we have cafes. So those are things to look forward to in the for December, when you want something to do. And because really, truly, Susie, a lot of people do not know that this beautiful treasure is in Massillon, Ohio.
Right.
They say, Five Oaks, Massillon Women's Club, what's that? Mm-hmm. And so, we have a historian in Massillon, Margie Vogt, who is very knowledgeable about that street itself, 4th Street, the historic street, and all about the McClymonds home, the Five Oaks mansion. So, tours are given by our Heritage Foundation, which is a spinoff of, we're very connected with the Women's Club, because back in 1975-76, up until that time, the women owned the home and they took care of the home with their monies. And, money was getting pretty tight. We were having some problems. Membership was going down. So at that point, they decided to, the Heritage Foundation was created, and it was a group of people that, a board of officers that would oversee the restoration and preservation of our club. So we are on the historic route. We are registered, and we are a 501c3, so that any donations that you would like to make in honor of somebody or in memorial of someone, maybe that have belonged to the Women's Club, or you want to just help in some way to keep the mansion, Five Oaks Mansion, the home of the Women's Club, intact, you can help by doing that by giving donations either to the Heritage Foundation or, for example, Susie, you said your grandmother was, I found her in the book here. She was the president of the Women's Club, I think we said back in 1950-51. Her name's right in this book, and it's Mrs. Owen.
Yes.
And, in her memory, you could, give, monies to keep this place alive for us. And I know it's very close to you, too, because of your mother being married there, your son being married there.
Yes.
Susie loves this place.
I do. I certainly do. We're speaking with Patty Carmola from the Massillon Women's Club. Listening to you talk, I am thinking about the upkeep. It must be absolutely overwhelming. And yet you go in and everything is just lovely. How do you do it?
Well, we don't have a staff like they would have had, back in the day to polish all the
There's
furniture.
No
and
Mrs.
the silver.
Hughes. There's no.
No.
How do you do it?
And what's really, it's really wonderful is that we have a community of women that belong to the Women's Club that volunteer and volunteer and volunteer. We have one custodian, we have a manager and a bookkeeper that works for us. And so pretty much if there's something major to be done and we need help with pointing the stone on the outside of the building, the Heritage came through for us, the Heritage Foundation. Something that was done this past year, and maybe, Susie, you haven't seen this yet, but in the parlor and in the music room and up in the ballroom, we repainted again. And so all the walls have been replastered, and that had to be done a certain way. We had to follow detail as to how the historic register wanted us to, follow those
details.
Be
authentic.
Mm-hmm. And, it just looks, it is just beautiful.
Let's talk about some events. First of all, the Massillon Women's Club has their own events, but then other people hold events there. I know the Quota Club is about to have a Princess Tea there, which we're looking forward to. What else is happening at Five Oaks?
Throughout the whole year, from August until June, there are things happening at the Women's Club. So if you become a member, for example, it's like $75 a year, and then you can choose sections to go to. And that's that's a deal. And then you can, from sections to a literary section to antiques and collectibles to a social section to even a wine section and gardening section. So all of these women then, are volunteers in helping with that, any events that are happening there at the club. Our main events that happen is that holiday at Five Oaks. We do a fall luncheon. We do a daffodil luncheon, which we just finished last couple weeks ago. And then we have what's coming up on June 1st and 2nd of this year is the rose luncheon. And you'll be able to come into the home and smell that beautiful fragrance of roses there and just take in all the awe of that beautiful place. And there'll be entertainment. You pay for a ticket. It's either $30, $32. I'm not sure what it is now. But you get a wonderful lunch. And we have the best cooks in town. We have the sticky buns. You know about those.
This was my very next place I was going. I've got food. I can show you've got food, and it's underlined. It is amazing. And how do you do it at such a reasonable cost?
Yeah, and I don't know.
We have legendary.
We have a good manager and we have a great cook. And
it's amazing.
She and her sister, a lot of times you'll see them both in the kitchen, and the desserts and our signature sticky buns. People ask, "Can I take some home? Can
They're
I buy
amazing.
some?" They are amazing.
They are.
Yes.
And I'm thinking just the full menu. It's all the, it's got the seasonings and the sauces and just those special touches that make it really, really top drawer.
But yet it's down home cooking.
And
it really
it's
is
down home.
Yeah.
Well, the cook has been around how long? And I hope she's got lots and lots of years left in her.
Oh, we're treating her very well because we do not want to lose her because we have outside events that when you call the Women's Club, which is 330-833-4896.
Give that again, please.
330-833-4896. 4896, or you can go on our website, which is www.masslinwomansclub.weebly.com. And actually, you can go on that site and take a look at some of the past weddings that have been done, what's offered at the Women's Club, some of the upcoming events. But you can actually meet with Sharon, our manager, and say that you have a shower or a birthday party, or you just want to have a luncheon there for some of your Red Hat Society, whatever club it might be. And then maybe we can also arrange through the Heritage Foundation for you to have a tour for your group also. So, we can accommodate you in most any way that you want to, because we want you to be your stay or your time at the Women's Club to be very pleasurable.
It's an amazing experience. Take us to the second floor gift shop.
Oh, yeah, Susie, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, gift shop is right off of the master's main bedroom, and it's in that second floor. And you go in there, and we have, I'll tell you, I've been to many a gift shop in historic homes, and this one is top notch. You can buy, you don't have to go to Belden Village. Just come on over to the Massillon Women's Club. Scarves, dresses, jewelry, adornment for outside in your yard, special, unique little gifts that depict the Women's Club. Ornaments. At Christmas time, like she said, it's so beautiful. We have about 6 or 7 trees that are just in the gift shop, So it's just
it's not a tree in every room; it's a tree in every corner.
Exactly.
Everywhere you look, it's amazing. When do they start that? I mean, I want to move on, but when do they start that? September?
Yeah. Well, we have our fall luncheon is in October. It's usually like the first part of October, and then they start dividing things up down in the basement, what this room's going to have and that room's going to have. So I would say by the end of October, they're starting to move those things up. And because it has to be done by at least November, I think it's around the 13th, 14th, because that's that first tea of Christmas.
It is not to be missed.
No.
Patty Carmola from the Massillon Women's Club, Five Oaks. Thinking back, you must have very special memories. Something made you become a member. Something made you willing to become the president. Highlights in your time there. Tell us a little bit.
Well, I think, Susie, just like you, our mothers were both members, and so that's just something that, is something you want to carry on that tradition. But it's just, I think having been a lifetime resident of Massillon, I taught in Massillon. My mother had a flower shop in Massillon. It's just, you want to give back a little bit. And I think by supporting something so beautiful and, you look around these days, buildings being torn down and everything, we have to keep at our Women's Club and keep it there, because it's just, those sisters, gave it to us.
Yes.
And we have a responsibility. So we want to, invite anybody back to the Women's Club. If you have any questions, please call us at the Women's Club. And if you want to ask for Patty, you can ask for me, and I'll take you for a tour. But
that would be a treat. That would be awesome. You're a preservationist at heart, aren't you?
Oh, well, I think it comes with when your mother's 99 years old, and she was in that era where they hold on to those treasures.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
So very cool. It's Five Oaks. It's located, tell us the exact address again on 4th Street.
Okay, that is 210 4th Street Northeast in Massillon, Ohio.
And
330-833-4896.
if you're hearing about this for the first time, boy, are you in for a treat. Be sure to get over there, have a tour, hold your next, special event there. It's just amazing. Patty Carmola, thank you so much for joining us today on Our Community.
Thank you, Susie. It was a pleasure.